a good driver.
Okay, so we're here. This is the stage. I'm recording, by the way. We just started the recording. See what happens. Wait, what was this? Where do we see this?
Russell Cheech lives 8,000
Where do we see these questions coming from? Oh my gosh.
Wow, 9
okay.
audience members.
Oh, we are so famous. We're so famous. We're so famous.
We should do this often.
Yeah, actually, this is pretty cool.
By the way, there's a chat you can all speak to us with on the side.
Fuck, I don't even know where to go for this. Oh, Russell. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. We got the chat. I found it, guys. Boomer here. Yes. Well, welcome, everyone. I see Joa's got Big Cat with him. Big Cat Ocon. Yes?
Cat's here, chat.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we can just kick things
Start it off. Russell was a big fat cheater.
Oh, well, hold on. Hold the phone. That's not
Pause.
confirmed. It's not confirmed, all right? All we know is that someone is trying to defame him, and it's got to be Post Malone without the tattoos. Is this actually confirmed yet, or is it still just under investigation?
It just came out. Sky just reported it's just been referred. So basically nothing yet. He's fucked. There's no way.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Joe's got it right. Confirmed is underway, not confirmed by students.
So this is an emergency podcast.
Emergency.
I guess.
Yeah. Mick Butters changing his name once again to not avid Merc fan. Can't support cheaters. Can't do it.
Okay, besides the fact that he might have, just gotten a little underweight. Let's step back though. What do you think about the Mercedes strategy? They split it.
Once again, just top of the class. Like it's just you can't beat them. Even without the fastest car, the best equipment, whatever you want to say, they can still get it done any race.
Yeah, a lot of this talk about they were set up for quali trim or whatever. I don't know. I mean, this was actually a very unique race given the circumstances. You had top 4 teams trying to battle. And I was actually surprised that they were going to just keep going one stop with Russ. I guess he really wanted to keep going with that one stopper. I'm actually surprised that Lewis didn't catch him. I mean, he probably could have if there was like 5 more laps, but.
And Carlos did the same thing, right? It's just Ferrari?
Yeah, it's just Ferrari.
Yeah,
there's the difference. There's the difference.
On mediums to 6 laps.
That's how you know Merc's good, when another top team does the exact same thing and falls in their face.
I wonder if they pitted Sainz earlier, if that probably would have worked out even better for them, because they kept trying to stretch it out. I mean, what did he stretch it out? Another like 3 or 4 laps before he finally pit. So, what about McLaren? Let's talk about them. I mean, there's Norris. He first bottled it.
Once again, El Perez lights out. Tried again. Maiden Norris shows up every race.
Yeah, and then Piastri actually didn't do that bad. I mean,
Oscar's is coming around. He's gonna be hard to do this.
Going back to the live timing and actually just looking through this right now and just seeing like he was just doing perfectly fine towards the end, and it's always the last stints. It seems like McLaren they seem to have some pace there. I know Lando. What did he end up? 4th, 5th? He ended up pitting again, didn't he?
Who, Norris?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they sort of butchered his strategy. He was stuck behind Verstappen, who couldn't overtake anyone. He'd done a rain setup.
Yeah.
And they were just stuck behind Leclerc the last couple of laps.
That seems to be the trend, is being stuck behind drivers like Max. He ended up he just couldn't get anything going his first or second stint because he just kept being behind someone, dirty air, killing his tires, not really getting the right pace, like Piastri even said. Clean air is king, especially at a track like this where you can actually just create a gap. It's not like a Hungary where everyone's still pretty close by.
It's kind of been a story all year. Like, just track position means everything, or getting a nice undercut. Like, on track passing is just not. It's not how you're gonna win here in this league right now.
Yeah. Yeah, as far
So
as...
we have a question
Oh, yeah?
from a former F1 eSports challenger. So it's why was this year so much different versus previous years? So with the overtaking and the deck, I'm guessing that it was just because they re-tarmacked it, didn't they? So
Yeah, it was resurfaced.
it was quicker, tire deg. But it was very surprising how Russell could just keep ahead of Lewis Hamilton. If he had now we know his car was a bit lighter, does help, but yeah.
But I also think that even in a situation outside of those two, like, you can make up time because the gap is so close between those teams, like the top 4, that if you're having to try to fight in like sector 2 or 3, you have to, the best passing opportunity was really going to be sector 1. Just if you can get close behind and just get that slipstream right after Rouge. So I mean, he held him off for 3 laps, 4 laps. I think if he had 5 more laps, he probably could have passed him. I mean, we saw
Lewis. I
Yeah.
mean, now the news has came out. If George had the correct amount of fuel, who knows?
Yeah, but I wonder how much that would have really impacted, because I mean, Lewis had half the tire life as Russ, right? Like, it was just, I mean, he wasn't like, I'm looking at the pace.
I mean, he
Lewis
had enough time to overtake
46.7.
him.
He he had a 146.7, and then Russ had a 147.6 on the last lap. Like, he's got the pace, he could do it. It's just there wasn't enough time for Lewis to make that pass.
I don't agree with that.
If
that was another car, he would have been like, he overtook Leclerc no problem on the straight. They probably had the same setup.
Well, he
maybe
had the
Russell.
lockup. He had the lockup. He had everything. But I mean, look at his best lap. 146.6 was Lewis Hamilton's. Russ's best lap was a 47.3. Like, Lewis was just 46.6, 46.7. Russ was 47.6, 47.3. I think there was a few more laps, because he caught up to him. He was like 7 seconds behind after that pit that he made, and then
I think it was the second last lap or something where you thought he had a chance, but I think Russell blocked him off. I think that was probably his only choice, his only chance to get ahead, because Russell was defending that for his life, it seemed like.
Yeah. What about
And
Dolcetto thoughts?
Dolcetto.
Yeah, we got him in here. Anyone else wants to get in? Just
What's up,
if
guys?
anyone else wants to join.
Hey, sorry, running a few minutes late here. How's everybody's Sunday going?
Good, man.
Well, I'll bet Checo, so I'm drinking beer.
I caught the end of the whole Russell Hamilton discussion you guys had. I think that Russell fully deserves this win, because if you see, like, was it the last 2-3 laps, Hamilton was like half a second behind him, and Russell was able to keep him on. Maybe if there was a couple more laps, maybe Hamilton would have overtaken him. But man, I'm so happy for Russell for the win. As a Mercedes fan, I'm not a Hamilton fan, but as a Mercedes fan, this was a good weekend.
Did you get the breaking news yet? Are you aware of this?
Do you know about Russell?
I've been off my phone for the last hour.
Dolcetto.
Oh no!
I know.
What's happening, guys?
Rip it up.
I don't have a slip for him winning it, so I'm fine. So
it's starting to sound like he's not winning. They're gonna DQ him. for being underweight.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it is what it is.
Oh.
I hope that there's that they don't, because I think he ran a good race, but wow, I did not know that. That's interesting. I guess I have to read up on it. Sorry, I've just been a busy Saturday morning here.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it won't matter because it would just be LH being the winner. So
yeah. It's still a Mercedes, yeah. But then, how is that going to affect
Huge for the
all
construction race, though.
the fantasies and grid rivals and stuff? Because I have George in my lineup, and I have the Ferraris as my constructor, so I'm really curious of what's going to happen here with because I got a lot of points from George, so that's going to be interesting.
No, I just wish you liked explaining that to live chat.
So-
Just good luck with that.
yeah, so from a betting standpoint, most books are going to grade right off the podium. They're not gonna grade what happens after. However, Grid Rival,
I was going to say, I think Grid Rival has gone back and changed
Rivals
results before.
Grid Rivals never grades results until after, because they want to make sure these situations. And then I think Underdog and Price Picks are the same way. I believe they wait until after. So, but books typically will grade up at podium.
Well, you know what though, I will agree because last year I had the situation in Bahrain where Fernando Alonso got like second place, whatever, then he got bumped to fifth, whatever it was. And then at time of grading he was second, and then they went back and reverted it back, and that cost me like $500 on a fantasy lineup, and I was like, I had a long chain of emails with them, and I think books can go back and change it. So just keep an eye on your betting accounts, I guess, and fantasy accounts, because
I
happened to me.
want to keep my betting account. The fact that it has Checo in there makes me so mad. Makes me so fucking mad. I fell for it again.
I haven't opened it. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for a nice Olympic
people who vote,
feel confident. And
I don't know why.
The people who voted for it need to not vote next round around. Okay.
If he's still on the grid, but I swear to God, he is ultimate banned. I even probably will put the second seat as ultimate ban. I don't care if it's Ricardo or Yuki. I just don't. I don't think I can do it anymore. I'm done with it.
I woke up and I was like, "Fuck yeah, man! Sunday, I'm about to make so much money on Checo. What a fucking idiot!"
Why am I not surprised? But surprised, I don't know.
Because he looked strong the all weekend. He looked very strong.
We fell for it.
I was like, "Oh my god, P2 in this rocket? Are you kidding me?" Charles is flaking turn one. This is easy.
This is this absolute piss of a just a driver. But I have no one else to blame but myself.
Yeah, that's right. I'll take it on the chin. Fucking stupid.
What I want to know is, how did he get P2 in the rain on old tires?
We got a guest speaker coming in.
All right, let's hear it.
Hello.
So,
I don't want.
Is this someone who's bet Perez for the win?
Yes.
If I speak, I am in big trouble. Fuck Jacko. But I thought Charles had a fucking sick race, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, normally I'm a huge Charles hater, but he actually did really good today. He did his job.
He paced well.
Above and beyond.
He did what he needed to do, and he got to P4. I mean, that was his ceiling anyways, compared to McLaren and obviously Mercedes. So,
and now soon to be P3. Absolutely the worst car out of the top drivers, really.
Charles getting a free podium would be the most Charles thing ever, though.
Yeah, it would. It would. He did have a fantastic race, and listen, I'm gonna say Sainz did just fine too. He did what he needed to do off strategy. I thought that he did a pretty good job. But that going into the weekend, I mean, the data was pretty close between Ferrari and Mercedes in terms of what you saw in front of you in their race pace. But I think the markets were also saying, hey, he's going to be about Leclerc was going to be in that 3rd, 4th spot potentially, and Sainz was going to be in the 6th, 7, and Sainz ended up 7, and Leclerc ended up 4th. So,
and I think Leclerc set up for the race as well. You could tell in that comparison with Perez, the qualifying lap, the Red Bull had no straight line speed, and we saw it. Max couldn't overtake Leclerc, falling back. He was gone. His tires were gone, but Max couldn't overtake. You know, he's probably a second faster, maybe not that much, but he was faster than Leclerc at the end of the race, newer tires, and he couldn't do anything.
yeah. No, I mean, he did it. He did what he needed to do. Ferrari actually did what they needed to do. I am still curious to see what would have happened if Sainz pitted earlier. Would he have actually finished ahead of, I mean, gotten a little bit closer to 6th spot? I don't know, but
I think so. I think because he was ahead of Norris, and then he went long and hard, and then for some reason he did 6 laps on mediums, which is probably correct because that tire was doing nothing already.
Those mediums were awful today. They did absolutely. They're just useless.
And you know who was on the mediums for about 20 odd laps?
Is it Hulkenberg?
Our last classified finisher, Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
The most absurd strategy I think I've ever seen.
Didn't he pit first too? Almost
honestly,
immediately.
I stopped paying attention to him. I didn't realize he went
pit
20
first. Yeah,
Oh
he
my
pit
God.
first on the mediums after about 9 laps. Did about 10, 11 on the hards, and then you know what? I'm just gonna go on the mediums for the rest of the race.
I saw Hulk's lap times on the mediums were worse than Bottas on 13 laps. Older tires. I was like, oh my god, what's going on here?
Actually, I think the
Even
team,
when even when Checo had the mediums on, I don't think Carlos even there was just no benefit of having them on at all.
yeah, I think Red Bull really fucked up too because they did 2 stints on mediums when everyone was like, hey, the hards that's the tire of choice. Really, you should go 2. I mean, if you start on mediums, you go hard. Everyone pretty much did that except for Red Bull because Max went medium, hard, medium. Perez went medium, medium, and then hard. Look where they ended up, 5th and 8th. Like, I wonder what it would have been if they just stuck with the hards. Two times, 2 stints. And how about Aston Martin? Did they do a 1 stop? It looks like they did. I think Alonso and Stroll ended up doing the same strategy where they went like 26 laps on hards, and that was it. And Alonso got points. It pisses me off. Stroll actually got ahead of Albon because I had Albon over Stroll.
Big Cat won his group.
He did, but does that shock anyone? I mean,
he was behind Albon. I mean, he was 1 ahead of Albon, so that was that.
I think
that could have been
Albon
50-50.
was the only one.
And that kind of pisses me off. Really, Albon had pretty good pace too. He should really have been past Stroll.
No, of course, Joe hit the whole stall button once again. That team.
Whenever last classified on Joe, he's like, no, I'm
DNFing. The odds should be higher because you don't know if he's going to actually finish.
It's true.
Okay. Well, what about?
Should we talk about our new favorite bet over 18.5 classified drivers?
Yeah.
I think it has hit
Jesus.
5 out of the last 5 races.
Yeah, and I went under this time, expecting there would be at least a little more chaos in turn 1. It was actually pretty clean.
Over 18.5 and under 5 second margin.
Outside of that,
those are like the walks of the year.
Yeah, that's been.
What did you say, Mac? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was saying that over 18.5 and the margin under 5 seconds. Those two have just been money printers.
Yeah, they have been hitting very well last few races. I agree.
Under has to hit soon. I can't believe all these drivers have been so well behaved.
I agree. Actually, I really thought this one was going to be kind of a chaotic turn 1. I really did.
are we just chasing the under? It will hit one. It has to hit one of these races.
I mean, we just keep throwing at it, right? We'll just lose. Oh, we hit one.
Oh, look, Baku soon. Brazil,
We haven't.
Vegas.
That's right. We haven't done Baku yet. Usually, we're done with that usually by now.
Max has to win again, right? Does he?
Okay,
Yeah,
well, let's talk about that.
With a competent driver next to him.
Yeah, that too. Is he going to get one though? I mean, Ricardo did end up in the points. He ended up 10th, best of the rest. He actually.
Do you think they'll drop Chico over the summer? I don't think they will.
He was in 11th, so obviously with the Russell thing.
I personally think
they
are.
asked.
I think they are going.
They asked.
So
Sorry,
they've
they
been
asked
in the stewards for about 30 minutes now. So
they asked
hopefully we get-
Horner after the race if this meant they're going to drop Checo, and he was like, "No, this race won't count for anything." I was like, "Really?"
No.
Yeah, I
He
saw
was
that.
P2.
He said like if they asked him if he thought this could be his last race, and he was like, definitely not. There's no chance.
I think this.
Helmut thinks otherwise.
I think this is it for Checo.
I think so.
Like
It should be. Will it be?
Well, here's another reason why. What's it worth to them to stick with him between now and the end of the year? He couldn't help his teammate out today. He actually hurt him by like losing that pace because he just couldn't do shit. And he's been doing that all year. And now he's in a battle with McLaren and apparently Mercedes for constructor and potentially drivers. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying any one's going to win it from them, but this is not good for Red Bull right now. Like this is not good for Max. You got to have a teammate that's going to show up. You have to.
These quotes from Marco that Drew just put out, it's pretty damning.
They are.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I think he
That's
had
not the email I want to receive.
he had to have been on the podium to give him a sniffing chance to stay on. And if he won the race, he probably would have saved it, but he obviously didn't, and it just continues to prove, and this is not me being emotional about me backing Checo today, but seriously, you were in second. You were in the second spot, and you
There's no excuse for
how
it.
do you
There's
do
just
that?
none. Yeah,
Ricardo in the shittier car who started in 14th, 15th, ended up 2 spots behind him. I mean, that just proves right there. Why would you even? You should throw Rick in at this point. Fuck, throw Yuki. I don't care. Throw in anyone.
Anyone, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to switch it up at this point.
You have to.
I mean,
You can't keep doing this. Like, it's going on. We're almost a full year now into the Donkey Checo stage.
What they should do is, to make things super interesting and it's going to bring a lot of fans. Lewis for the rest of the season and just have fun with Lewis and Max. Of course, it's all dreams, but that'll be a fun last 12 races. Seeing Lewis in Red Bull and Hamilton. I mean, and Max. That'll be a fun one.
Oh,
I think.
I don't. Oh,
I mean, Lewis is leaving, right? So
is he?
why not
I
make
feel
it
like
interesting
maybe-
for the fans?
Maybe they should do a race of Perez, Ricardo, Yuki, and maybe Gasly, and whoever wins that can go back to the Red Bull seat.
When's the next sprint? Do it then.
Is Monza a sprint or is that not?
Make
it
them
must
all.
be,
Let's
right?
reverse
I'm not
grid.
sure.
All Checo's reverse grid. Red Bull's number 2 seat up for grabs. That's how you get a sprint.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you.
yeah,
this,
reverse credit.
That's how you make a sprint.
The next race is not going to favor Red Bull. That's for sure.
Oh, that makes-
Zandvoort. I mean, that's gonna favor the McLarens.
Oh, they're gonna do horrible there.
Yeah,
let's be honest. What upcoming race is going to favor the Red Bulls?
Yeah, there's not
I
much.
mean, maybe you could argue
Vegas.
Monza or Baku, but
I mean, this race should have favoured them.
they
but
should. Yep.
Yeah,
reason
this is. I mean,
This,
he was like a
in the
second
red.
ahead
Let's
of
be
everyone
real. Let's
all
be
around.
real. If Max actually if he was on pole and stayed on pole, he would have just cruised through victory. But the fact of the matter is, we learned in the last 2 races, if he's behind in traffic in the top 4, it's not going to be as easy as we thought it was going to be. It's just not.
He had a pretty good race.
Till the next sprint. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Like he was absolutely stuck behind Checo for 80% of the race, and then
I don't know why they didn't just say, "Checo, get the fuck out the way." Like,
They
Max
should.
could at
They
least
should have. They
attempted
should.
to get it up there.
Absolutely, 100%. I thought throughout that race they were going to say, you know what? Stop trying to battle Russell. Just let them both through. Right?
Yeah,
like just
go.
let them
Just
both
go.
go.
It's
You
over.
fucking suck. Let them both
Yeah.
go through, and we don't care what you do at this point. Like piss yourself. We don't care. Just do it. They should have
All
done
right.
that.
So if we were to look at the constructors and slightly odds on for both, who are we taking? McLaren or Red Bull? Had to be McLaren, I think, at this point. They've got two drivers who are decent enough.
Yeah, not even that Lando or Oscar will like outpoint Max on the back half, but they're just going to be. They got two drivers. We can actually put it up top.
I mean, Max may be like a +10, and Lando and Piastri may be like a +4, but Perez is like a -5, and probably might get McLaren over the line.
I think like if you're doing it before the hopeful Perez sack gets announced, like statistically, probably makes sense to back the McLaren early on, and then once you've got a replacement driver, whoever that is, and they're a bit more used to the car, then at that point you can start backing Red Bull, because as the season goes on, you'd expect they're going to naturally improve. And if you're then going to be taking them with plus money,
that's not necessarily true. I mean, they've.
I mean, could they even poach Danny, Rick, or Yuki mid-season? And then
yeah, they've done it before.
They could do that. They could just pick.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think they sacked Gasly.
I was thinking, like, what's that Jack
Gasly,
guy? He's awful.
Albon and Gasly. Those were two Red Bull drivers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I mean, Gasly was in a similar position where he just. I mean, I think they realized he just is not as good as they thought that he would be, and Albon just was.
Albon was too young.
He was
too young.
Very reckless.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I would like to. And I think if Albon had the chance again, like today, he'd probably do pretty well. But
it's just I just still think that Red Bull, outside of driver issue, they get strategy, but there's just something not right with their development. And maybe it's not like, oh, we gotta just poke holes and find out why. It might be that, hey, you know what? We were just so used to them being so dominant for like 3 years, and they're just having a hard time this year with their car. I mean, yes, the gap is close too. That makes it easier to show like that's why they're worse than they are. But Mercedes has gone through that issue, right? Like they were so dominant for so long, and then in 2022, new regs came out and they sucked. And it carried on until now. They took them like 3 years to finally kind of figure out this car, these regs. And I just think that we're just probably just watching a Red Bull just slightly just deflate. That's it. It could be it.
I wonder how much the preseason drama with Horner has affected Red Bull as a whole.
That's a valid thing too. Like, are people just not on the same page internally?
Maybe, yeah. Like, is everyone on? I don't think everyone's on the same page. Obviously, there's something's going on, and I would say it probably stems from all that shit in the preseason.
Yeah,
I think that Max is very lucky that he's got the points that he has so far this season. He's probably won in the championship this year because he's not going to pick up many plus points. You'd think further down the line he'll get enough thirds and seconds to take it home, but I can't see. It doesn't seem to be a consistent opposition against Max. It's either McLaren. I mean, even Ferrari, Leclerc beat him this week. Piastri, Norris. There's too many different drivers for him to lose it, I think.
For sure. Like, here's the standings right now. Max still has 7 wins. That's a lot. 275 points. The next best is Lando with 1 win at 197. And then you're splitting Mercedes between Lewis and George recently. They're both around 140s with each other. There's 10 races left. It's most likely Max is going to win this thing unless somehow Lando and McLaren strategists can get their heads out of their asses and actually win races, or just out of the blue, we just start seeing a dominant Mercedes or Piastri, or somehow Ferrari figures it out. But let's be real, that's not going to happen.
On Twitter, I've just seen
Pause.
Russell next 10 minutes.
Wait, what's wrong with
Ferrari? Did you say Ferrari?
Ferrari, yeah.
This is an unserious conversation.
Yeah, no, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. So they're saying 10 minutes or so. Okay.
10 minutes?
Yeah, 10 minutes to Russell.
Well,
baby.
let's talk then about, we got summer break. I know we were all like making predictions on who's going to be bad or whatever, but let's focus on the top teams. Forget about the back markers.
I liked what I saw from Williams this weekend. Aston Martin though, on the opposite.
Well, let's go to the top 4.
What did you see from Williams?
I guess my prediction was after summer break that Williams would get a little back in form and Aston Martin would hit the drop off.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
I mean, Logan finished 19th. He's
one
spot better.
Listen, that's just anti-American propaganda. That's all it is.
I'm with you though. I mean, Albon really could have been in that 12th spot, man. He should have been on that 12th spot.
All I have to say is Aston Martin beat Williams, so
eSports strategy
on the surface.
New race director.
I'm going to say strategy. But what about top teams? What do you think actually happens? What is your prediction?
Just flip a coin at this point. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you would say like the back half of the schedule. Would you think that Mercedes has an advantage?
I'm
thinking like Brazil, Mexico. They should probably do.
I think one thing that we all have, the betting markets have, and we do, is a bias towards the big teams. Because we definitely saw Max and Lando at low odds. We're like, yeah, of course they're going to win it. But I think we have to expect the unexpected, like we did with Lewis.
We definitely have to start sprinkling guys outside the top 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to have like at least 4 race winners in our pocket every race.
I almost considered it.
Basically, we got to go the Joe route and just take every donkey. Yeah. Just
apart from Perez.
Except for Perez, yeah, no more of that. He's banned forever.
I mean, yeah, he's not going to be a selection in about 3 weeks, so.
I pray.
Right.
I mean, I said Lewis Hamilton won, but it was George Russell, of course, wasn't it? But
yeah.
For better markets.
Yeah, better markets. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the advantageous thing for us, really, in the betting sense, where you've got 5-6 drivers that could realistically win every single race. And even though Lando might start in pole. And what is it, the last like 5 races or whatever, he's dropped out from his starting position. Markets like that you can take advantage of. But when you've got any one of those, George, Lewis, Max, Lando, Oscar, even Charles, like starting near that top, any single one of them could win. And that's even without taking into consideration safety cars and stuff like that, which we have not seen yet. So,
yeah, absolutely. And just like 12 months ago, betting anyone other than Max was like crack pipe stuff. He just didn't do that.
Yeah, you'd be an idiot. You'd be an idiot to take George or Lewis to win any of those races because the Red Bull was just so clearly ahead. But I mean, like even today, you've got when Sainz was out for 20 odd laps, whatever it was in the hards in that first stint, all you need is someone to go a little crazy. You need a bit of Checo madness. Safety car, and all of a sudden everything's just thrown up in the air. I can't remember the last time we've had a race like that. That's last season. I feel like it was all the time.
One thing is most people that do come in to these like more casual bettors, maybe they or have never bet F1 or just like diving in.
Just have one a week or something.
Yeah, like they're so fixated on winner odds, unlike us. We're trying to go through rocks and pebbles to find all sorts. You have a menu of items you can pick from, But I've noticed like that past 2 years as we've been doing this thing, a lot of the like newbies that come in, they want to get the race. You know, everyone likes to bet a race winner just in general. NASCAR guys are the same freaking way too. So, and it's not worth it right now. Like what I'm hearing, especially too from you guys, where it's like it's a coin flip. You can get better odds live, right? We just wait and watch it. You might get better live odds on that. So a lot of the people that come in, they might not even have access to the bets that we have too. So that's why they're so fixated on it, like Max or Norris or whatever. So,
I mean, you end up in a situation where at the beginning of the week, everyone's going, yeah, it's pretty obvious that even though it's unannounced, Max is going to take a 10 grid penalty, so he's not going to win the race. So it must be Lando or Oscar, no one else. Yeah. And then after FP1, you're like, oh yeah, Max is cooking. He might actually win this. And then after that, it was just chaos, you know? I think if you gave anyone odds of like 3 or whatever for Lando to win at the beginning of the week, you'd be like, yeah, cool, I'll take that 3. That's like plus 200 for you guys. Whereas today, I mean, he just, in actual race pace, they just were completely, well, Lando specifically was completely cooked by not being able to overtake anyone. And that's data we don't have at the start of the week or even with FP1 or quali data. So you can't really bet on the market.
It's also tough to like just in the race today. I mean, really, we were all kind of going in blind in a sense, where we didn't know what it's going to be like for the amount of laps that they have to do on these tires. We don't know what the true strategy is. We all were just kind of basing off of what we could find in terms of information on like the tires, as an example. Like for the entire week, I was like, oh, you know, Ferrari and Mercedes look pretty dead set even. It's probably just going to come down to strategy. But how is anyone going to predict what the exact strategy is going to be until you get into the race? And I think that's also playing into the hands of like all the bets you do, whether it's the top 4 or your back marker. Like that's been a challenge during race days to figure that out. And that's a huge significant impact to who's a race winner. For example, like we all thought Max was just going to climb up the field pretty quick at a place like Spa, but apparently it wasn't as easy as we expected. So,
sorry to interrupt that chat. The disqualification has been confirmed.
It is.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Wow.
Lewis Hamilton inherits the win at Spa after teammate George Russell is disqualified.
Wow.
So easy.
Wow. That's insane.
I hope you're ready for every person that's not.
Oh my god, everyone's about to flip the fuck out.
You nearly burst my eardrums, mate.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I get a little excited sometimes. I'm an avid Berg fan, so I'm a little.
That headphone volume again. We're just gonna have a warning.
Sorry, this is as an avid Merc fan. This news is just really bugging me.
It's the newest. Yes,
Team OH.
Where's
Team OH?
Let me get FIA girly. Where is she? She needs to meet her in my life. Oh,
right, Danny.
Well, now we can have a podcast about how happy we are. You know, we don't need to talk about.
Oh, Team LH is in fucking is celebrating right now.
Popping
are you kidding me?
He
just won his 9th championship.
This is so great. Okay, so that means, God, that sucks for Mercedes and constructor. That really does, man. Oh, that's yeah. Fuck.
I mean, it was always gonna happen, but fuck, that sucks.
And you know why? I bet if he did a 2-stop, he would have been absolutely fine.
Yeah,
it's definitely something doing a 1-stop. He probably didn't. He didn't slow down for the the additional pit stop, which is some fuel in itself.
Mm-hmm. So is it half a kilogram off?
Oof. And you're probably that's a good point. Nice point.
Thicker tires.
Yeah.
All right. So as we got the news, what do we think for Zandvoort? Similar, right? So it should be hard to overtake. Track position.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be.
And it's probably
boring race. Hopefully we
already bet Lando.
Yeah, I think I'm with you.
Limited track.
We're gonna have to take
Lando fans. Lando fans, yeah.
Well, why are we saying
Lando? You're gonna kill me,
guys. We just saw this. Why aren't we taking?
Like,
Why
yeah,
are
race
we taking
favorite.
Piastri?
favorite.
What are we doing?
Some
Why are
Americans
we?
can't take a break.
What are we doing? We're still let's take Lando, the Checo 2.0. Let's just do this.
Blinded by the light.
Come on,
Yeah, what have we
Piastri.
learned? What have we learned? Yeah, next race, Lando.
Take him for qual. I don't know. I'm going to focus on Piastri a little bit
don't-
more
you don't
than
touch
Lando.
it.
That's for sure.
No, it's too late, man. I've already backbanned him.
Oh.
I'll tell you who's terrible now, and I'm going backwards. Haas. I don't know. They've spent all their money. It just has to be that.
It's going to be interesting. Like
struggling
normally,
now.
this is the time where they just die completely because they
Haas?
run out of money. But remember last year when they did the fucking the pit crew? They only had the 2-seater, so like the whole setup.
Oh yeah, that's right. They wanted to save.
to cut costs.
They wanted to save costs and be very, very green with taking less to the.
Listen, we could shave off a good $100,000 a year if we just take one chair all the way.
Gene,
Yeah.
what are you doing, bro? What are we doing?
He's just probably still in Vegas.
That guy's something else. But yeah, Zandvoort. I mean, I think. Listen, I'm going to say McLaren now. We got 3 weeks until this race. I still don't. I'm going to tell you guys, don't discount Mercedes. They got something. They're doing something. They're doing it. Yeah, there it is. But I think this brings me to what do we think about Ferrari here, though? Shouldn't they be better?
They would have been better at Hungary.
They should have been. Imagine if the Ferrari of last year was as good as this year. They would definitely be winning this thing.
Yeah. I think McLaren's just going to be just too high priced. I don't know. Like you're going to see like both top three is probably going to be some crazy.
Ferrari has been a Ferrari. Yep.
1.67 for McLaren, and then
We had an Alpine podium last year.
Was it raining?
Big
though?
Cat.
Oh yeah,
But it was
Yeah,
raining.
It was a freaky race.
I remember I had.
It
Perez
wouldn't
top
just rain;
two.
it fucking poured.
Yes, that's right.
I remember Perez just decided to go off when it was raining and just cost me forecast or something like that. He's always costing me. Like this is why I've got him.
I
as
want
my
to say
profile
that
picture.
we lost a bunch of money last year on this race.
That's why we've got to go fund me.
Yeah, Alonso P2, Gasly P3. Yeah, I'm gonna just go assume that we lost our ass.
Are
that
we ever
race.
gonna learn? Are we ever gonna learn?
I feel like that was
Oh.
a definite Checo podium last year.
I can't wait till that guy's out of my life.
Checo got 4th last year.
Yeah,
Almost.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
That sounds like a losing bet to me.
Who's in the gulag for you guys outside of the obvious check?
Oh, come on now, man.
Obviously, outside of him,
Come on.
who's joining? let me say who's joining Checo in the gulag for you guys now.
It's got to
Hulkenberg,
be Lando.
Lando. Oh, nice. I like it.
I mean,
Joe for being unable to finish a race when he's last.
fucking up the last classified. I think I would go to Lando too, just because. Just personal preference on practice because he's been doing so well in practices, and I just thought I was like, oh wow, he's finally come around. He's getting like top threes every single practice session, and now he's shut to bed every single time.
What do we think of Russell? Although he's just won a race ish, his form's being.
I mean, Russell just keeps getting shafted. I mean, he could have Silverstone. He had that something wrong with his car. Had to quit.
Oh yeah.
Then last weekend, the qualifying shit. He's just getting shafted left and right.
He is, though. I will say he has been shaky in these races. Like if he did actually pit, he was going to be behind Lewis. I think Lewis is just much stronger right now. He's feeling something in this car. He's feeling something in this season, and he's been on it the past 4 races.
You could just look at Lewis's demeanor now. Earlier last year, you could tell he's just driving.
I will say
now you can tell he's a little more pissed off. Like he wants to win. He's upset when shit's not going his way.
I think in practice sessions, go for it, take Russell. I think that's the time where Lewis plays with the car, playing with the setup. He's actually doing things that Leclerc should be doing, which is communicating to his engineer, like, these are the things that we need to fix, and we're going to try these new things. So that's why you might see him struggle. You'll hear his comments, and then all of a sudden on race day, he's just is on it, just on it. But lately he's been on it with qualifying, which is kind of surprising. Usually he's not. He's usually setting up his car for a race. It's if I would not fuck with that matchup until you actually get into race weekends. Like, watch FP1 and see what's happening. Watch FP2.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, FP1, George is right up there with Bottas for like the biggest win percentage of his teammate.
Yeah, but that was the first half of the season. Now in the second half, like, he was 8-1 over Lewis in qualifying.
I still think Lewis likes trying new, like, different shit than what the team likes doing on FP1.
Yeah.
Then he'll gradually get there.
Yeah. No, it's something I'm not sure how to gauge. So
with like Russell and Sainz are pretty comparable on race day versus Lewis and Chuck. I mean, Lewis obviously has experience, and you can say Chuck does too, but they're both not afraid to say, "Fuck you, your strategy's wrong. I want to do this," and then go for it. Like today, obviously he's been disqualified, but you can't really fault George for today.
I think George is excellent on the mic.
Made the right call, and Carlos did the same thing. And hard to really dispute that. So when it comes to actually predicting them making that, like, Leclerc never would have done that ever.
I'm not sure that Carlos is not the engineer for the team, to be honest.
No. He just doesn't know how to communicate, apparently, to his engineers about stuff like that.
Carlos just tells them.
Oh no, not Carlos. I'm saying Leclerc. But that's what makes it. I mean, you need to have that skill. You got to be able to communicate those.
Yeah, you got to be like, no, this is stupid, guys. What are we doing this?
Carlos came from a family
that rookie anymore. Yeah,
he came from a family that's
right, but
that. So,
especially when they put him on Inters on a dry track twice, that was the big. To say,
yeah, speak up. Like, don't just be like, what's happening? What's happening? Like, fucking say, no, I want softs.
Yeah, and own up to it. If it doesn't work out, don't be blaming anyone else. That's
what separates a good driver from a great driver.
My man, I'm applauding you right now. Thank you. Like, that is exactly what people don't realize is they, for longest time, they're like, oh, he's so great. He's so great. Well, he's not doing those little things that like a Lewis Hamilton does or a Max does. Like, those are guys that are great at what they do. And so is Sainz.
I was having this argument last week with the whole McLaren fiasco, and I was like, oh, this is kind of what makes them like not a serious team in the long run. Like, you can't afford to make those mistakes.
Yep.
Like, you just don't do that.
100%.
Talking about McLaren, I just stepped away.
Yeah.
That was my biggest issue with McLaren last week, is that no one wants to take the lead. Like,
just grab the bull by the horns.
If you're going to be I get it's a team sport and everything, but you got to have a champion. Yeah. Someone's got to have the champion mentality. Like, you just got to. Kobe didn't win.
You know what?
Kobe didn't win rings by just passing and being passive. Like, he was the Black Mamba champ.
I'm surprised a driver has never said when it's 1-2 and they say, oh, it's for the team. Like, how is that for the team at all? They're going to get the same amount of points either way.
Yeah, there's nothing for the team at all. The same result, same exact result. It's just messed up Lando's championship odds.
I mean, replace Lando with George on the standings, or sorry, with Lewis in the standings, where Lewis actually has a chance of winning, and he's behind Russell. Russell will be told, "Okay, swap that fucking car," and he goes, "Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Cool." Like, this is easy decision to do.
So is Norris now in the same category as Mark Webber and Valtteri Bottas for his race starts? Because
I think he's getting there, man. Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. And Bottas is my guy. I hate saying it, but fucking Christ, man. That guy, his starts are as good as mine on the game.
But I saw
for the best.
I saw him McLaren go off into the gravel. I was like, oh my god, who's that? Don't say it's Norris. It's him.
Not the rookie.
Yeah, it's not the rookie. And Piastri is pretty good at starts. And it doesn't help that they're quite good. They're quite close in qualifying. That's not helping Lando at all.
Well,
All right, so
we are probably almost an hour through. We finally got the news. Let's
we've got the news.
let's close this out. So
have you got any Olympic tips?
yeah, let
Coming
me
up?
Yes,
let me
have
go
you
to
gone to Kroger? Yeah, we got to get back to Deacon
Bro.
activities as soon as we get off his mic.
Hey, Cap,
I gotta get this
I'm in
check
Kroger
on my
right now.
guy.
What's his name?
God, I was on the floor laughing so hard to this. I just couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, listen, I need you to go to Kroger ASAP. Flip this guy a nickel and say, like, hey, what's the play?
Well, hey, let me tell. Wait, but there was one little clarification we need to make here. He didn't say specifically that, like, hey, bet this match or anything. This was before the semifinals match. He was like, oh, yeah.
No, don't give me this.
He was like, yeah. He's like, I'm hoping Australia will do something, but Fiji's the team to beat in this whole thing. They're gonna get gold. And I was like, oh, say no more, fam. I'm gonna degen right into this.
God, man, they got
I really
fucking
would like to see
destroyed.
the video of that interaction. Like, just
No, man.
the way that he
This
spoke to
guy.
you.
You
This,
get the CCTV footage.
first off, like I try to avoid this guy every time I go in because he's just one of those that talks your ear off, right? He just keeps going and going, and
Yeah, he's the annoying bag boy.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
can't get away from.
And finally, he was like spitting out some stats on the Olympics. I was like, okay, is this my Rain Man? Like, did I just find him, my unicorn? And then next thing you know, I'm like, oh man, I got so excited and said, fuck it, let's try this. I don't know what I'm betting here. Let's do
It did
Let's
start
do
well.
Fiji.
I'll give you that. They went 7-0 up, right? So
Oh
it did-
yeah, yeah.
It did go well.
That's just a
for the
try.
first 2 minutes.
I was just I was so I was pumped. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go back to Kroger right now. And then they just stopped.
They just collapsed.
Yeah. They look so much bigger than France too. I know nothing about sevens
Yeah.
rugby, so
In my mind, I'm imagining one of those. So here in the UK, I'm assuming you can over there. You can bet on like virtual sports and stuff. Whenever
Yeah, oh yeah.
whenever there's like virtual racing and stuff happening at the shops, there's always some like guy covered in piss stains, surrounded like by like empty coupons that goes, oh yeah, this one's gonna win, this one's gonna win. Like, it's a fucking. There is no data. There is no nothing.
Don't you?
Nice,
bet-
nice 2-liter of Frosty Jacks hanging out at the virtual races.
Oh my
Oh.
god. The fact that
only if it's before midday.
the entire Discord went in on that match.
I need to read through that.
I'm sure it's gonna be
Oh
good.
my god, I was laughing so it was so worth my entertainment. That was so worth it, guys.
I rate that
Yeah.
everyone today is basically like lost bank on the race, and oh yeah, whatever. But you're never gonna hear the end of it for that.
No, I'm okay with that. That's a lifer for me. Just remember, that was so great. Convinced a bunch of degenerates to lose money on Fiji and sevens rugby. I don't know shit
I don't
about
even know
rugby.
what seven
Honestly,
rugby is.
It's a better tip than betting on Checo. So
That's very true. That's very.
I say
true.
that, but I bet men's volleyball and badminton
Oh,
doubles. By the way, not saying it's doubles.
I mean,
How
So I was
did that
getting-
go?
Hey, listen, we won. We went two for
Oh.
2 after all the autism
Okay.
incident.
yeah. Let me see how much I lost on Checo this weekend. Let's see.
I'm not looking.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm not
right now.
looking.
I finally got some of it compiled.
Look, this could be the final race. We could even have a chance to place a wager on him. So.
Yeah, I lost 3 units on him. Just okay. Just
Yeah,
race day.
well,
Race day.
What was he? Plus 185. I had him to win.
I
5,
got so. You
yeah,
know
I got
what?
3.
I really thought he was gonna get that lead a lap, but because he just fucking sucked off the. I just
useless.
Yeah, I should just stay.
You know what? I saw him here for a bit, but Marine had him for podium at 9-1, top 6.
Oh,
He had
Marine
the
had a
whole
whole
ladder,
slip of Checo.
and it's all lost. How did
Yeah.
he even not get top 6? I mean, that's just disgraceful.
Oh yeah, trust me.
That is embarrassing. I don't remember who it was at the beginning of the week. I think it was Jens that was going on about how his odds were like too good. And I think I made some silly comment. I was like, I wouldn't even take. Checo
I may have
six
joined in
if it
on
was,
that
like,
as well.
plus
There's a
9.
couple of them.
And that's
Fucking Hulk points was a big one pre-flop that a bunch of people were on.
Yeah,
I-
that was
I've
me
had
as well.
that.
Yeah,
Like 3
I
weeks.
did that.
Yeah.
I did that, but you know, I think that was. Yeah, I don't.
I'll do it again.
I don't know if I could do it again. I don't like these markets pre-flop the way they were. I got a little too excited. I think it's just that type of market is very fucking hard, especially if you're trying to bank on like a back marker. I don't know.
I think my biggest win of the week was laying off Max Podium, and I was bricking it up until the beginning.
So I'm glad I actually didn't do that.
So happy that I voted
As
on
in
that.
betting against, yeah.
Yeah, I bet against it. Laying, so like betting on the no side. And pre-race, I was absolutely bricking it. I was seeing Max going up.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
5 spots instantly over Lando, over everyone, and then thank God for Checo.
So what markets are we avoiding moving forward? What do we think?
Last classified.
That's not a stereotype. That can't be a stereotype. That's a money token.
I could have told you that 7 races ago, but that's okay.
I've just been grasping on that 16-1 Joe winner when he was somehow 16-1 or whatever ages ago.
All right, so we got last classified. What about you, Joa? What do you
First to pit?
Okay,
that's been an absolute. I think like Yen's like.
I mean,
he pointed
you guys
out
are
once.
just playing like stupid games there with those markets.
Nah,
anyways.
but they're data informed. No, they are. They're stupid plays. Honestly, probably pre-flop. Anything. I think basically just wait for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't like. It seems so silly to just fuck around.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm actually curious. Like, I think that's a solid move, to be honest with you.
I think, like, statistically speaking, if you're approaching it with last year this happened, over the last however many races this has happened, you could have gone for like a very statistical approach to this race, and then on race day it's just absolutely gone to shit, which is always going to happen in any sport. But yeah, you absolutely cannot. Like, at least for me, like, I think I need to just sit there and go, I absolutely cannot put any money on a podium before FP1 has even happened.
Yeah, no.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I don't like to bet. I don't bet. I like to, just me personally. I know a lot of other people bet different wise, but I do everything session by session. Unless if there's like an obvious misprice or something, I
get a little trigger happy.
You know what? Sometimes. I think there is value in his fastest lap, because I was looking at Perez. I know you better for Perez fastest lap in play. I was looking at that as well. I was like, but I think definitely if you can see who's 8th, try and guess who's 8th, either in play, is probably better, because you can tell a bit more. You can get massive odds.
Yeah, some books just don't. I think the major books, the 365 dude is absolutely on it. Some books just get rid of that fastest lap instantly, and I know here in the UK you can do the exchanges, but there's no liquidity. But some books keep that fastest lap open and sort of hidden away in the background. I mean, when Sainz pit initially, I think he was about 40-1 for fastest lap, and you just kind of knew there, like, if he pits and has enough space to in 8th, 9th place, he's not going to care and go for it. And Checo was just an obvious one. I think I did it around the lap 20 mark. I was like, cool, he's a donkey. He's going to lose time here. They made the right call.
And he was so big because he was driving terribly. So he wouldn't
driving terribly.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like betting F1 365 says books will keep the George results. So
yeah, they should.
As they should.
Yeah, as they should. Yeah. Good confirmation though.
So I think we're all in agreement that it's best to just wait session by session. I think we generally do that.
I think we generally do that. Yeah, we find some like.
But like now, it's definitely like, hey, you really got to tighten that up, because I know earlier in the season we were like, oh yeah, I mean both top 10. They should.
Yeah, it's fine. Like.
Yeah. So
I think it's those
Max Red Bull win. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh. What, the hat trick?
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, the hat trick.
Good times.
What happened to them days?
I'm
yeah, I mean, if I get Max to win plus 250 next weekend or next race, whenever the fuck that is, I'm definitely gonna take it on Wednesday.
When the season,
Just because.
I mean, I've got to
when the season is boring, it's easier to do betting with F1. When it gets juicy like this, it's really not that great for betting. I mean,
I used to disagree with that. I always used to think there was opportunity, but after these last few weeks, I'm like, yeah, you're right.
It's just
You just need like double Alpine top 10
it used to be easy, man.
and all that.
That's coming.
It's just the strategy approach to it. Like if you're betting like it's consistent all the time, then you're not going to do well in this madness.
Yeah, I think what we all do is we look at the weather, we look at parts, we look at the things we have available for us when markets open, and you can make a somewhat good prediction and then see prices drop. So you've already taken a good line in comparison to the closing line value. So if you're consistently making those decisions, it doesn't really matter if you win that week. You're going to win in the long run, because like with that Max podium stuff, like it was pretty clear for anyone looking at it that he was going to take a penalty.
Yeah.
So if you're consistently doing that, it doesn't. Yeah, you're going to end up with betting on Checo like an idiot, but
It's probably the right move. Maybe in the long run.
I'd love some.
I think betting on Checo is ever the right move in the long run.
Ugh, fuck you guys. Seriously. God. I am so.
What's the
to make it even worse, like my biggest bet of the day was Bianca Andreescu, which she dominated, but I had her fucking parlay with Checo.
Yeah, well, the worst bet of the weekend was Fiji to get the gold. That's the worst bet of the weekend. Actually, no, that wasn't the worst bet. Worst bet was Checo for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Checo just fucking ruined my day. But we got badminton, handball, all kinds of sports.
Yeah. USA basketball just won. Beat Serbia.
Yeah, I saw Kevin Durant was like fucking 10 for 10 at one point.
He was on fire, man. He was. All right,
well, doing pretty terribly. Before the start.
This was fun.
We got some breaking news.
Breaking news and everything, but
no, we have actual new breaking news.
Oh, we do?
Yes. Brand new breaking news.
Oh,
fresh
yes.
off the press.
Yes. That is very true.
Next weekend, July 3rd. Or I mean,
August,
not July.
August.
Yeah, sorry. August 3rd. F1MG GP Season 3 will be kicking off exhibition race.
Ooh, it's
official season will be starting the following weekend on the 11th.
What's our exhibition?
Yeah, but what are the rules?
It's medium all across the board.
I mean,
like gears.
You got to learn how to drive, is what the rule is.
Yeah. No, Renegade, we'll let you keep your fucking automatic. The only Brit who can't drive is stick. Swear to God.
Oh, that's so great. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. It's hard to do that on controller. At least I've never tried.
Yeah, you have to hit like a triangle and X, and they're not even close. It's weird.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No, it's not good. I get it.
Not for me. Okay, so exhibition. I can't wait.
Yeah, preseason kickoff next weekend, and we'll officially start season 3 the following weekend.
Can you tease me with what the track would be, either exhibition or first?
Monaco in the pouring rain.
Fuck you. I'm out.
Just kidding.
I can see next weekend.
I'm out.
No, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's tease another thing though. I forgot.
Yeah, we actually have real news.
The other breaking news.
Other breaking news. I am over the weight limit. No, I'm just kidding. We are doing a rebrand coming soon. Joa, you're gonna help us with the rebrand. No, I'm kidding. You're not.
I am the new podcast host. Thank you.
It's the poker.
That was easy.
We'll have to see about another summer break pod for sure. But yes.
Wait, as we have you in person, can we just have a pronunciation of your name? That'd be great.
Please.
Say that again.
My name's Jeff. You should know. You like football, don't you? Sort of.
I said
not really.
I said Joa. Is that not the right pronunciation?
No,
I always say Joe. Yeah.
Is it Joao?
Joao?
Yeah. What? Yeah, he got it perfect. Joao.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
You just say Joe. and
Come
then
on, you
just-
watch all Euro Cup, guys. Come on now,
Not
you should
me.
know this by now.
Not me.
Joel?
I'm a true American.
Oh, poo.
Yeah, I don't watch your soccer.
Come on.
I watch real football.
Oh, okay.
I probably just lost all the Europeans now.
You never
Yeah.
have them.
Capper,
Yeah,
who?
whatever,
Who was
Luciano.
that?
You don't even have a kicker anymore.
Oh man, I just
What
Anyway,
happened to the
back
kid?
to
Oh,
the-
yeah, the guy who blew a hammy,
listen.
right?
If you want to
Back
talk
to the
if we were-
rebrand.
if we're- yeah, if we
Yeah,
were-
onto the rebrand.
yeah, rebrand. Right. Let's go to rebrand.
Yeah, we got a rebrand coming.
Rebrand is coming
Name
soon.
change. Yeah, it's coming soon. Just be on the lookout.
Yes.
Turns out having the name gang in your,
It's not
in your
ideal.
company doesn't work out.
It's not ideal.
And F1 is a
Yeah.
copyright, which is a bit on the other
Yeah.
side. Not too
Well,
good.
hold
Listen,
on. But F1MG is not going to die. I think that's just going to stay. That's still going to stay in some capacity. We're just probably like, it's going to probably be like our segment, our betting segment name. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It won't completely
Just-
die.
Think of it like Twitter, Like,
Yeah.
we still call it Twitter, right? It would be like X, but just Twitter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, welcome to Visa Cash App Motorsport
Yeah.
Gaming.
Yeah,
well, they started taking her, they started freezing her accounts and shit. Buying me coffee. What was this money gang getting all this money from?
and we're not going to give you anything, F1. All right, guys. Well, this was fun. Enjoyed it. We'll definitely try to see about another get together during this summer break. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Zandvoort, 3 weeks. Next race. All right.
All right, guys, enjoy.
All right, guys.
All right, boys.
All right. See you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.